everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if this is your 22nd and final The Rookie Season 4 episode review. Before you comment, I'm not wearing a red shirt today. It's because I stepped out of the house, I did a hangout, and then I came back. If I was going to take a shower and everything, I basically would have fallen asleep. But today's the season finale. It's a big day. It's a big, it's the last rookie day for the season. Not for us, but you know what I mean. But before we get to all the whole finale stuff, my thoughts on it and all that sorts, I want to say, well, first, congratulations. We have officially been confirmed. We are getting a spin-off. That's right. After many, many years of covering the Rookies, we are getting a spin-off in the Rookie universe, now the Rookieverse, with the Rookie Feds, the Nia Nash spin-off, which we reviewed the Backdoor Pilot episode, the two-parter, a couple weeks ago. That is officially going to be a show. It will be coming out at some point within the next TV season. They haven't given a date yet. The upfronts are very soon, so hopefully we'll get more concrete on our return date for both Rookie Season 5 and also the Rookies Fed Season 1, hopefully. So, and of course, as always, because of our, I love spin-offs, we will be reviewing each and every episode of the Rookie Feds when it comes out at some point in the next television season, because the Rookieverse ain't gonna die anytime soon. So I'm very much happy on it. However, for this week's finale of the Rookie Season 4, I will say out of the 4, it is, I believe, the most calmest. And that's okay. I think you just get the prerequisite of you had that big rookie season finale to keep you gasping for next season. It's kind of weird, like the next seasons of the Rookie, usually they get renewed after the finale airs, so those finales are left with big cliffhangers. So they kind of wrote this one as we're gonna come back. We don't need to do this big cliffhanger for fans to really rally over. We only got a couple things left over from this season that we obviously are aware will be picked up when we come back next time. But overall, this was kind of like a very much of an open and closed case. It's just, I honestly thought, I looked at the runtime, like, oh shit, we're gonna get into some really big out west shit next season. But nope, that's not how it was. I'm not gonna say I'm not trying to criticize the decision. It's just ironic that the last 3 finales had no guaranteed for next season until after they aired, and then we got an early pickup for this season, which I guess coincided with the end of them filming season 4, so I guess they rewrote a couple things, so they're like, you know what, we can save those frets for next season because we are going to come back. Plus, we got a spinoff, so we're going to tee up the amount of work we're going to do for next year. But you know what? Let's go for the butcher recap and talk about the finale of season 4 for the Rookie. So we begin with we're at the station. It turns out somehow, I forgot her name again. The girl that not Chen's sister. Oh god, I was hoping I could remember her name in that moment. It was almost at the clip of my hand, but I forgot. So good news for her. She got her own car, which at some point I guess she got a job to pay for it. It was pretty cheap. Apparently Bradford helped her. He knew a guy, and it allowed her to get a pretty affordable car. Probably at the police impound lot, which of course Lucy's a little finicky because you never really know with these types of cars. They could just be junk cars. They could have, you could be lucky. My dad tells me plenty of stories. Sometimes you can find luxurious cars for cheap costs at police impound lots because you just get lucky. However, a sniffer dog shows up and reveals, this car has a lot of cocaine, a lot of drugs, hard drugs in there. So, and she's like, I'm not gonna get it. Tahara, it starts with a T. It starts with a Tar. I'm gonna call her Tara for now because I think that's the closest I'm gonna get to that. So she's not getting her car back. I'm gonna say for the big Nolan stuff for the end, because that was its own meaty thing. I'm gonna really get fanboy over here because the secondary stuff doesn't really play out too well. So they're running prints on the car on who the owner was, and once they get a name, a name and a face, they're baffled by what's going on. And even I'm like, why are you staring at this? It turns out the How I Met Your Mother theory of everyone has a doppelganger is true, because Bradford has a doppelganger, a drug-using, drug-selling doppelganger that we're going to call Tim, because he's not too bright, unlike the real Tim, who's mostly street smart and mostly very intelligent. And everyone's just making that joke because it's like Tim's older brother or younger brother, I forgot which one it was. And Tim's like, this guy looks nothing like me. And it's like, Jesus Christ, the resemblance is uncanny. I'm going to assume this is the last things they shot for season 4, since I'm pretty sure Tim had to, his actor had to grow out a little bit of a shadow for the scene. So I'm pretty sure they shot Tim's stuff first and then Tim's stuff's off the record, which was, for me, it's pretty funny. So they interrogate him a little bit, yeah. So he's literally like a really an open book. Like, yeah, I traffic drugs. I picked up some drugs from Mexico. I was supposed to come here to meet the dealer, but then after I went to go hook up with my girl, I lost the car, and then I've been struggling for the last week. Well, struggling? Like, when we found you, like, you were literally like dancing, like breezing through the music, like nothing, like a no care in the words. So I don't even think you really cared. So Chen gets a bright idea, since she asks him, well, has this supposed dealer ever met you? And he's like, no. So she's like, why don't we put Tim undercover as Dim? Because if they never met before, Tim is a very on-spot lookalike to him. So figuring out the persona, there you go. Like, it's basically the perfect, undercover. Everyone agrees on it. And Tim's like, no, I'm not going to dress up as Dim. But he's like, all right, sure, why not? So we go from there. And yeah, so Tim becomes Dim. They set up a sting operation at a very luxurious high-rise building. So he drives into the parking lot. Everyone's in station. Even Aaron. Aaron makes a cameo in the season 4 finale. Oh my god. We're going to talk more about Aaron in the season 4 review in a couple weeks. But all I'm going to say is I'm not really a big fan on how they treated his character a bit. I'll talk about more about that in the season 4 review in a couple weeks from now. But overall, like, just I'll get a little bit of my thoughts out here. Yeah, I don't, after Aaron's big episode was kind of wrapped up, and then the one episode he had with Tim on terms of like what kind of officer he's going to be down the road, they really haven't done much with him. And I understand that you get to the same, like the samey, like kind of how Grey's Anatomy has been struggling to do in recent seasons, where the longer you go with, like, you have this sort of program to be a very much of a easy excuse to put in new characters in. You get to the problem where you have to repeat some old threads from when the original characters were doing this. And I know Rookie's only in season 4 going to season 5. It already feels like they were trying to cut around a lot of what Aaron was supposed to do, that Nolan, Chen, and back then Wes used to do when they were rookies. The only thing we got was plaid shirt day and like certain other things, like, those certain minor things we got to see him tackle on, but a lot of the stuff that we saw was very much off screen or with another TO. So with that being said, like, it's just after the whole big episode Aaron and figuring out his backstory and everything, I did not feel 100% comfortable. I'm not comfortable, more like happy that they kind of really didn't utilize his character to the fullest. But again, I'll talk more about that in the review in a couple weeks from now. So back to this point. So Bradford gets taken in to the high-rise building. He gets cleared by the people on the bottom. They take away the car. Aaron and whoever he was driving with follows him for a while, but they're eventually, let me stop skipping ahead. So they head up to the penthouse. Very usual drug dealer 101 penthouse. Bunch of girls, very rich apartment, and him just standing in the ledge for no apparent reason, just to look like a very creepy motherfucker. So, Tim being Dim, manages to excuse his way out of this, where were you the last week in Sword? And thankfully, he manages to get him out of the situation. But before he can get paid and then going in for a full arrest, the guy's like, wait, hold on. Instead of giving you your money now, what if we do you a new job and we triple your payout once you complete it? And considering the fact they want to get this guy on a bigger charge, and as well as having on hand like confirmation that he put out the job and then he was going to pay out, it would be a really big win for the LAPD. So they decided to follow through on the operation, and he conveniently mentions that, oh, hey, bring your girlfriend with you, since you told us before that she very much is a high roller and a very fast driver. So now they got the clue on there that, like, okay, so this guy has a girlfriend. We should figure it out so that we can, like, now exploit this to our advantage. And when they contact the girlfriend, I kid you not, it's like literally every freaking rookie fan's dream is the girlfriend of Dim turned out to be Lucy's doppelganger, which, for the benefit of this review, we're going to call her Juicy. And I'm just like, it's really on the nose. I get that, but I'm like, it is pretty funny. I mean, look, this is reality. Like, you really never know with this role, like who your ending going to look like. Um, so now that allows Lucy to go in undercover with Tim being dim, so that they can complete the operation with very little ease. However, because just in general, when it comes to undercover stuff, you need to have a very well thought out backstory if anyone does ask you. So they decided to take time in Lucy's apartment to go rehearse this supposed backstory on these two lovebirds. And at first it's all jokey, and yes, this is the big thing that everyone was hyping up throughout the past week. This is the big Chenford moment. This is it, and I'm like thinking to myself, they're gonna find some stupid way to dumb this out to turn those fans like, nope, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. So anyway, so after that point, they're talking about it, and they're kind of getting a very much of an iron out backstory. Lucy using more of her romantic mind to kind of like craft this perfect love story between them, and Bradford's taking it back. But of course, obviously, yes, they have to tackle on the biggest elephant in the room. What if, to sell the part, they're gonna have to do some kissing, since these guys are like, after the last episode with those pairs of criminals, I'm not surprised that they're gonna have to like kind of imitate that a little bit just to sell the fact that they're a couple, they're kind of crazy, and they're really determined to get the money. That kissing would be a no-brainer at some point, and they're like, yeah, of course we should for the sake of our characters. And it's pretty corny. They have to use that excuse, like, we need to kiss, so we need to, like, only for the benefit of selling our performance. Tim does it's like they picked a really weird lovey-dovey music track for this, and so Tim gives Lucy a very small peck of like 2 seconds, and then Lucy's like, that's it. Like, that's literally like kissing your grandma. So she grabs him. They passionately kiss. But then there's something in the latter half that really, like, they should have broke up after 3 seconds, but then they just kept going. And if it wasn't for Tahara, now I remember her name, popping in, being surprised by this, it's the awkward, like, I'm going to go. I don't want to tackle this and explain this right now. I'm going to just leave. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And yeah, I honestly found like it was probably just maybe just the passion of the kiss going for a little bit longer. So like, okay, that's how they're gonna write it off. And then we get that scene, the shot of Tim leaving her apartment, and he's like doing a double take. It's like, it really percolates the mind a little bit of how you think of like, oh, wait a minute, so I really need to think about this. So continuing from that point onward, we cut to the next day. Very awkward, reunion, since like, again, they kissed a little bit too longer than they should be, and comfortably admitting, and they should address now this elephant in the room. But Tim's like, you know what? We need to iron out our character's backstory. So let's take the entire morning before this guy decides to give us a call to go in. And Chan's like, agreed. And that's the last we hear of them. Oh, I forgot a couple of miscellaneous. The last miscellaneous point is Harper takes aside Gray to tell him that she's going to go on maternity leave this week. So this is after this case is over. She's going to go off for a while to have the baby, and he's like, totally, that's understandable. Don't worry. You go do your thing. And Harper's like, I need to tell you about this one more thing. And I honestly felt like, is this where they're going to drop the whole big plot point? Like, oh, it's going to be Donovan's child instead of Jack's, or Jack's. Or Jake's, I forgot his name. And no, it's just the matter of like, this time around with now me having the kid, I want to have much more of like a stable-ish position. So I'm going to go stay with the detective team, being partnered with Lopez, since they make a pretty good team together, which honestly, like, yeah, like we got a little bit of a taste between their dynamic in the last few episodes. So it would be a natural fit for them to be more paired up next season. So Gray agrees, and he's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. You'll finish it off, and then when you do come back, we will find Aaron a brand new TO, which again might be teasing for Nolan to slide in there and become his new TO, but we're jumping really ahead here. So so he goes up, but then Gray starts like doing his own like thinking about like, again, what does that mean? We don't know. So that kind of wraps up everything that's happening on the LA side of things, I believe. Yeah, that's about it. So now we cut over back to Nolan, sadly having to do his solitary confinement week shift over in a very desolate part of Cali. And somehow he manages to like make the best of the situation. He decides to take Bailey alongside with him so that they can have like a very simple getaway. Because literally the area that he's assigned to is very barren. I'm being honest, it is very barren. There is only one chief and one officer. And he's on vacation, so it's just the officer. And she's still pretty much too new to be left alone. So it was convenient timing that no one had to be selected to go out there to take care of that his shift for the week. So that's really ironic. But not just besides Noah and Bailey get to take a vacation, the return of Alan Tudyk. I missed this man so freaking much. I really did. The crime scene cleanup, dude. I was like, I didn't even know. Like Nathan Fillion posted today on his Insta that like, yeah, they got back on. We're going to see Pete Davidson in a bit. His girlfriend. We got to see now the return of Alan Tudyk, which I'm like, oh my god, they remember, because I thought that was just going to be a throwaway character, even though I said in that episode review, you got to give Alan Tudyk a spinoff, and we have a spinoff, but not with him. Who knows? Maybe. Well, actually, I'm aware he has his own show, Alan Tudyk in general, so like he's busy there, so that sucks for me, but like, you know, it's great to see him again, and you know, it's been some time, you know, since he last saw each other. It's been about a year or so. They've apparently still stayed in touch this entire time, and you know, no one says, hey, you know what, if you need to take a vacation, I have to go out here, so if you want to join along, come along. And he did. He and the 911 operator girl is still together. They're still very much in love, you know, and it's like, that's great. That's, you know, I'm happy for them. I'm really happy for them. So they're staying in a very crappy motel that has literally no check-in service. Like, it is so bad that I think you just pay online and you just show up. I think literally you could just waltz in there and just sleep. And housekeeping will come at some random point in the morning to just take care of things, which I'm like, I don't even know how this motel's still in business, but you know what? Never mind. No one's about to get settled in, but however, his new officer, the officer that he's kind of like chaperoning for the week, shows up to pick him up. So they head off, and they're getting a little bit of the lay of the land. You know, she's still pretty much new. She's only 2 months into the job. She hasn't really liked she hasn't really liked the action she's gotten so far. Her sheriff can only teach her so much, because there really is nothing to go on in this small town. Hell, the only things we see of this small town is the diner, which is also the police station, and that's about it. And a bar. That's literally it. We don't even know if there's and the motel. Like, that entire stretch of land, there really is no town. It just needs a couple of officers. That doesn't really need that much. Even the office is like so bare bones. It's like two desks, a system, and one jail cell. That's really it. Which is so, I feel so bad for them, but like, yeah, there are small towns out there that they do have crime, but it's just not as heavy for them to have that many resources. And ironically, as soon as Nolan walks in the door, they get a call like, bar fight in the bar, come break it up. And she's like, that's literally normally the only real call we answer around here, just a bar fight. Even the diner lady like gives them some sort of like, oh, actually, the cactus grew up to the left, instead of the right. That was pretty funny in my opinion. So we had up to the bar. Nolan steps back a little bit. This episode kind of was like Nolan being kind of like the TO over here, because like he's mostly wanting to watch her, like see what has left to learn on her duty, because again, she's only been on the duty for 2 months. But she already knows the usuals. However, she had to get she goes a little bit too late on the procedure. One of the guys gets impaled with a glass shard on his neck. Bailey shows up to kind of help bring him over to the hospital, since again, very desolate area, little to no reason for help, so ambulances are not going to come out to this area. So Bailey drives him to the nearest hospital to get some surgery, so that's good on that front. Thankfully Nolan and his officer in training for a while, or rookie, let's just make it easier. They come across a car that breaks down the middle of the road, which according to her, like, this happens a lot, you know, very hot area, people not being aware of what the hell's going on, that sort of shtick. And it turns out to be Pete and his girlfriend Chastity, which I'm like, hey, look at you. Well, I already knew from the last week's promo, but I'm like, oh, hey, you guys are here too. Like, it's a big Team Nolan reunion, basically. Pete runs away because he thinks the car's about to implode. Chastity's like, nah, it's not. I'm still surprised these two are still together. Like, after a certain point, I thought she would be done with Pete, but I guess she's not. So, So he comes back, and they're everything's fine. You know, it's just they need a little bit of coolant to go calm down the car. And apparently, Nolan inadvertently invited them on this trip, since I guess Nolan probably just told Pete, "Hey, I'm gonna be in the middle of this outdoor nowhere for about a week." I think that was about it. And then Pete just took it as like an invitation, so they headed out there and got an Airstream. I say get an Airstream. It's not a rent or buy an Airstream. It's just they got one. I don't know if I should really be concerned about Pete and his side of the world, but it is what it is. Nolan and his rookie finish off the shift by pulling over a speeding driver, which very much of a British evil driver. Yeah, I literally looked at him and was like, yeah, this guy's evil. Like, I really do not trust this guy whatsoever. He was about to pull a gun on his rook. Thankfully, Nolan manages to help stop him, and so they get him arrested. They send him back. Nolan's a bit mad at her, but not too heavily, since like there's still very much a lot of things she hasn't done in her training yet, and the fact that she almost got him and her killed if Nolan didn't notice is very much a factor in there too. But however, Nolan says, you know what, let's just look up the system. Let's figure out who this guy is. And she says, we can't do anything because of budget cutbacks. The station only has very limited access to the overall national database system for prints. So we have to wait till the morning to figure out what the hell happened. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go reunite with my family. Well, not my family, my friends. So I'll see you later. I'll see you in the morning. Which I'm like, damn, this woman's working. I'm pretty sure it happens common where like she's working like a full 36-hour shift, since she's working the morning shift, the evening shift, and now another morning shift in the morning. So that's a little harsh on her, but yeah, that's the reality of the job. Nolan reunites with basically all of Team Nolan. And it's a cumbersome thing. Like it's weird. Like for me, like not weird, but like it's weird but heartwarming that like, you know, it's been 4 seasons and Nolan has kind of developed this little like friend group that isn't related to LAPD, or at least the people he's mostly associated with in LAPD. Like you have his girlfriend, then you have his friend Elroy, his girlfriend, his brother, his half brother Pete, and his girlfriend. It's like it's a very nice, cumbersome, you know, friend group to be with on a random vacation once in a while. So it was a nice thing to see from them. It was very nice. But you know what, they don't even stay that long. They're all like, you know, let's go bone in our room. So they head off to go bone. Let's say that. Oh yeah, I forgot the best joke of the episode where like they're all commenting like, hey, if it wasn't for Nolan, we all wouldn't be with our significant others at this point. So it's like, if it wasn't for Nolan helping Arrow give him the boost he needs to ask out his girl, and he didn't get Pete the push he needs to stay with Chastity, none of this would have happened. And Pete puts it best, Nolan, you're a human Tinder. And I'm just like over here like, I am too old, but I'm also too young for that reference. I'm like thinking to myself, damn. Anyway, so we cut to the next morning. It's very much ominous that like, yeah, this guy's a much more bigger issue than we thought. So Nolan wakes up to go relieve him. Arrow's doing some morning combat yoga training. I really don't know what he's doing. And Arrow's like, you know what? I want to go with you. I want to go explore some, you know, I just want to come with you, basically. So it's like, yeah, come along. There really is nothing to go on. So like, Arrow shouldn't be in trouble. He really shouldn't have a problem. So they head off, so I forgot, where do we go? Yeah. So they head off to the station. Elroy stays by to go make some coffee. Nolan talks to his rook. That's as soon as the morning was open and then the system was back up. It turns out this guy is a really big deal, and he's number 1 on the most wanted list. So the fact that they got him is a really big deal. So, and he's like, listen, mate, you really arrested the wrong man. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna let me go, and I promised you, you're gonna live. And I was like, that ain't gonna happen. But sadly, not too long after that, a bunch of goons start showing up in front of the diner. One of them, like I guess the second in command, shows up with a lot of money, like a big wad of money. He's like, listen, you're gonna let him go. I'm gonna let you live with this money. You know, let's make it easy. Just take the bribe, and we'll be on our way. Which honestly, like, if this was Smithy in this position, he would have taken the money. Because this is a very, like, no one knows this guy is here. Like, literally, this is, obviously, like, there's some tax hurdles and everything. You gotta, like, really hide this money. But, like, this is, like, the biggest, and I'm not thinking, like, I'm a bad person here. Like, I wouldn't take this money. But, like, I'm just like, for any other person, this literally is the dream goal. Because you don't have to, literally, no one's gonna know. Like, there's no security cameras. There's no other superior beating. It's just Nolan, Elroy, and the woman. Hell, even the woman's not even there. So Nolan and Elroy could have just taken the money and just ran. But anyway, yeah. So Nolan declines, and they're like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to kill you. So across the way, they know. Well, not across the way. A few miles south, they notice that a couple people are trying to destroy the phone line, so Nolan doesn't have any sort of like real backup to come in. Nolan, for some reason, I mean, it makes sense. This is Nolan we're talking about. Like any other logistical mind, like let's call for backup. Let's get backup over here. He calls Bailey, who Bailey's thankfully alone because the other girls are out doing antique shopping or whatever whatsoever. And yeah, Nolan's warning Bailey like, yeah, there's people here. I'm in trouble, so you need to get Pete, get his ass, and get the hell out of here. And she's like, what the hell's going on? The phone line's going down, so like they're both isolated. Sadly, the two other goons notice Bailey and go after her. And Nolan and Elroy, of all people, are stuck in the station as like a bunch of goons are starting to show up to basically take this boss away. They start shooting up the diner. Everyone's ducking for cover. And it's just like I'm just in the mind of this rookie here, like the one inside the station. She's like probably thinking, this one cop comes in from LAPD and everything goes to shit. Like everything just becomes, big and exciting again, or just in general. So they run into bullets. Thankfully, she pulls the guy over so that they can maybe try to make a coup to like, hey, you gotta leave us alone or this guy's gonna die. And the guy's like, nah, we're just gonna kill you and then take him away. So don't worry about that. So, and even the guy's like, don't worry about it. They got limited ammo. You guys are gonna win. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, Jesus, does anyone know like the hero always wins in these stories? Like, do villains not know this? So Nolan and the other rook are get ready for their version of the shootout, and for some stupid ass reason, I'm gonna guess they just ran out of bullets, but I'm pretty sure they should have been more stocked up than, well, any other criminal organization out there. But they drop all their guns and decide to go in to fight them on by hand-to-hand combat, which I'm like, they still have guns. They may not have a lot of bullets, but they still have guns. So that fight ensues. They take out some of them, but one person somehow manages to pounce Nolan. And yeah, it's not really looking too good for Nolan. Bailey arrives at the motel, tries to get Pete to wake the fuck up, but he's very calmly sleeping. Like, when I would have cared in the word that, like, his potential future half-sister-in-law is going to be dead. So those two arrive, and, Bailey has to take for cover. She manages to fight off the big dude that was with them. And honestly, like, I have no problem with the fight scene, but it could just be the editing or just the way they shot the scene. But like, this scene felt a little bit too slow. Like the moves were like a little bit too slow for my comfort. I don't know what it was. I'm just pointing in comment. Bailey gets discovered by the other woman. The woman starts shooting at her, and Bailey manages to duck over for cover, which symbolizes also like no one being in a tough jam as well. So where do we pick up from there? So, yeah, I'm gonna finish up the motel stuff. Bailey's safe. Pete's still asleep. Bailey manages to curve around and have a fist-to-fist fight with this woman. Their fight is again choreographed pretty well. Of course, it's just like the slow rate of editing that kind of like it makes it too clear that this is clearly staged. They fall into the very much of a weird cheap ass pool. It seems like for a while Bailey's the one who's gonna die. I'm like, oh no, you can't kill off Bailey. She's the best character of the show right now. I'm joking. Well, she's one of my favorites this season. But thankfully she gets the better foot and she manages to take down the woman. And of course, showcasing a difference that like this woman would easily let Bailey drown and die. Bailey doesn't. And this is around the time that Chastity and I guess Gail show up from their antiquing trip. And they're just like, these three are like blissfully unaware of the firefight that just happened. They're just like, oh, this is going to make a very interesting podcast. Of all things, back over in the diner, Elroy with the help and Nolan with the help of some freaking dirty dishes, takes down one of the other dudes. Elroy gets cornered by one of the other goons as well, who sneaks up behind him. And Elroy's like, I'm ready. Let's go. And the guy whoops up a knife and he's like, damn it. It's never a fist fight. Cause like, I'm pretty sure one of y'all have a knife. Like that's just the unfortunate event here. Oh man, that was pretty funny. So Nolan takes out, and the other officer take out the other dudes as well. Elroy somehow kicks this guy's ass. And I'm just like, go Tudyk, go. So it seems like the firefight's over. However, they're missing the the second head honcho. He sneaks up behind them. Nolan, thankfully, with his now instincts, takes him down with one shot. And yeah, that said, they're all taken down, and now backup starts to fully arrive. And it's one of those weird, like, funny moment where, like, everyone's just in the small ass jail cells. Like, so much attention's happening here. So much, so much backups here, and like Nolan and Bailey are just like, they breathe a sigh of relief as like their conflict's over, but Nolan's still stuck here in this very much of an empty town for another 5 days. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And that, my friends, ends the 4th season of The Rookie. Yeah, not really as epic as my last 2 epic recaps for finales, where it's like season 2 finale. Nolan is now being accused of potentially being a mole. Season 3, Lopez is kidnapped. Season 4, cool fight scenes in a small town, giving us some like new potential for like conflict and such. It was like I needed that punch. I needed that big punch. I was like really expecting like something. I don't know. I was expecting like a bigger fin. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they just were like, for once, like, we're gonna come back. We can be a little bit more softer this season. How do we top ourselves with one? Like, honestly, the only thing I could think of, and obviously they just would have made future seasons even harder, would be like, let's kill off a main character. I mean, it's cliche, just to shoot up a main character and like have that guessing game. Are they alive? Are they dead? And keep us guessing the whole summer. I do get that, but like, I don't know. I was thinking more of here. But overall, in terms of a finale sense, I thought this was, I will admit, this is the weakest of the 4 finales. I will say that. And I guess they were trying something different. They weren't trying to be over the top. They weren't trying to like outdo the last one, like trying to give us like another big moment for us to like keep guessing for like what the heck's gonna happen next. I do understand that. I get it, but it's just, I don't know, like, I was expecting like something more, because like this season, I'll be more frank in the season 4 review on it, but of all the seasons, like, it just doesn't have like a somewhat of like, they did have at moments like one coherent story, but like it just by the end of it, like it doesn't really have that payoff that I was expecting. Let's just say that, in my opinion, at least. I do believe in terms of like the LA side of things, in terms for y'all Chedford fans, I guess technically I said in an earlier review this season where like if they do hook up, or if a big moment happen where they do pair up, I will eat a slice of pineapple pizza. And technically they didn't hook up, so I don't have to do it just yet, but I will keep that promise going into season 5. So I'll be very frank here. The bet will continue next season, so don't worry about that. But in terms of that, I guess, it's what everyone's been asking for. I guessed it from episode 1 that at some point this might have happened, and it did happen. And you know what? Let's see what the writers have in store for us. Again, like I always say with everything, I trust the writers more than I would trust myself. So we'll see what they have planned for next season. We'll see. It was something long-term coming. I'm again surprised we didn't bring up the Harper baby potential snafu up again. Maybe they're saving that for season 5. Gray and Arrow not really having much to do in the finale. Okay, that's all right. There's only so much attention you can throw around. This only being Nolan reuniting with some old friends. Not old friend, but like old friends for us. Was really sweet. It was really nice. The whole going into like basically the Wild Wild West in an extent was a breath of fresh air. I will say that. There's only so many big finales you can do in the city. So it was interesting to give us that sort of angle. Also, just him not mentioning the fact that he's missing his FTO exam is kind of a bit of like, okay, I'm guessing they're going to save that for next season. I'm guessing, but overall, I think just the return of Elroy and Pete just kind of like, it elevates the mood a little bit. Like, you got some like real comedy going here when things are trying to get a little bit more serious. I'm not sure if they're setting up this rookie of his to like potentially move over to LAPD. I'm not really sure 100%, but is this a possibility? Just considering the fact of, how much they were setting up like Nolan being an official TL down the line. So, which is very much nice in my opinion. The villain choice, it literally is the generic British villain. So I'm like, I'm not really praising anything here. The firefight was cool. The choreography was cool. I will admit that. There was just, I never really felt any sort of stakes from any point onwards, which for the rookie stand, like, yeah, it's a finale, so it's like you got to be very considerate on that. But just for me, I wasn't really feeling that sort of energy going into this. But overall, I still think this was a good finale. It definitely ended a very different season 4. I'll talk about, again, the last time, I'll talk about more of that in a couple of weeks. But overall, I thought this was good. Definitely was nice to see Nolan kind of still like in his prime, learning a little bit more on his potential future in the LAPD. Well, we'll see how the Chenford thing continues on to season 5, and see what else is in store for these characters when we come back. But overall, in terms of the finale, I think they did a good job of ending the season off on a good note. Not the big cliffhanger way that I was expecting, but you know what? That's totally fine. That's totally fine. You know, we're gonna get seasons like this. Hopefully, we get to go on for much longer. We're gonna get seasons like this, so there's nothing really more to say. I'm gonna give this episode 1.5 thumbs up. It's not the strongest finale, and if I'm ranking all the finales in order, this definitely falls in the least category. Not because it's bad or anything, it doesn't have the stakes that I was expecting, in my opinion. But again, another good episode of The Rookie. I'm gonna miss these characters again as we go on our summer break. We'll be back in the fall for hopefully for another round of episodes for The Rookie. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the Rookie Season 4 finale? Let's talk about it down below, as always. Because this has been your Rookie Season 4 episode reviews each and every week for the last 9 months. I can't believe we're at the end of another week-to-week road. I'm going to miss y'all, you know, as always. If this is the end of the road for now, I'll see y'all next season for Season 5 for all the episode reviews, because we will return next year with every Rookie Season 5 episode reviews. So I can't wait to get back into that universe again. But if you are going to stick around a little bit longer, you're in luck. Next week, we are going to be doing our Season 5 predictions. We'll be talking about everything that I want to see in next season of The Rookie, and as well as any potential crossovers with our brand new sister show, The Rookie Feds. Can't wait to see how that goes around. And then also the week afterwards, we'll be doing our Season 4 review, spoiler-free for anyone who has not yet seen Season 4 of The Rookie, which will now be available, all episodes on Hulu. So that will be exciting as well to see. And then later in the year, before The Rookie and then its new sister show, The Rookie Feds, comes out, we will be going back to where it all started. We'll be doing a definitive Season 1 spoiler-filled review. I'm gonna go back and rewatch the entire first season of The Rookie again. So because when I never got to cover Season 1 of The Rookie, because we started What's in the Tube the year after it came out. So this will be a way to like kind of go back and like, you know, give respect where respect is due. So I can't wait for that. But again, if you're just tuning in for the episodes, I'll see y'all next season for the next time around. But again, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for a notification when our next episode reviews live. Please also like, favorite, share. Please also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates we may have for the channels, which includes our new channel, The Collection Compass, so go check that out. But until we see each other again, everyone in the Rookie Nation, week to week, I'll see y'all next year for Season 5. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey so far. The Rookie it's far from over. We have many, many more episodes to go. So don't worry about that. For everyone who's going to stay tuned for the bonus stuff, I'll see y'all next week. But until then, thank you again so much. Rookie Nation, we are the best nation in the world. So until we see each other again, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.